Spring is here, guys, and we have the numbers for you for the real estate market for March of 2025. And the real estate market is actually starting to wake up, but probably not at the speed that you might think. So in this video, we are going to break down what the real estate market did in March of 2025 here in the North Dallas area, and specifically four of the most hottest cities, which is Frisco, Prosper, McKinney, and Salina. So let's dive in. All right, guys, so let's dive in. Let's look at what March of 2025 did for us here in the real estate market, specifically in the cities of Frisco, which if you look at my screen here, Frisco is going to be in the blue, McKinney in the maroon or the red, Prosper in the green, and Salina here in the dark gray. Okay, so I am pulling these numbers directly from our MLS, which is up to date. And as you can see here towards the bottom, we're only going to be looking at medium prices, okay, versus the average. So the average, what it does is it sums up all the prices and then divides it by the amount of homes that sold. Okay, so the medium sales price is actually going to be more of an accurate number than your average. Okay, so we're going to be looking at that. Also, for your other criteria to consider, I'm only looking at single family homes. Okay, I'm not looking at townhomes, I'm not looking at condos, no farm to ranch, nothing like that. So residential, single family, all bedrooms, obviously, any square footage, any year build. And something to consider as well is these numbers reflect pre-owned and new construction homes. So keep that in mind when we are looking at these numbers. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm probably going to be going back and forth between the bar graph and some looking a little bit of the line graph for historical purposes. If you are like, hey, what was the market looking like in 2022? We go as far as 3 years, as you can see right here, and we go per month. So for example, if we are looking at March, let me see, January 24, February, March of 2024, if you want to compare it to what it did in March of 2025, which is right here, okay, you're going to be able to compare. All right, March 24. So let's look at, for example, Prosper. So realistically, if you see that this number right here is actually, we're looking at sales price, the medium sales price in March of 2024. You can see there Frisco, you can see McKinney, Prosper, Salina, versus March of 2025. So if you look at these numbers, Frisco actually going up a little bit between March and McKinney going down in price, Prosper going down, Salina going down. So the one that's actually going up in price is actually Frisco. But to look at numbers specifically, I'm going to keep it here in the bar graph. Okay, so sales price. Let's look at what are actually homes, or what are they selling for here in these cities in March of 2025. So here you can see that this area right here, you can see March of 2023, March of 2024, and then March of 2025. So you can kind of compare to see what the numbers look like. Okay, so let's look at, for example, Frisco, which is the first one that we see here in blue. 740,000 is your medium sales price for March of 2025. Okay, so it actually went up from last year. Okay, McKinney, 480,000 was your medium. Now look at this drop right here from last year of March, 519,000. Now the medium for March was 480,000. So that's a decrease of 7.5%. Okay, so you can kind of see the trends here as well, that the prices are slightly coming down. All right, so let's look at Prosper, for example. Also, we saw a 7.5% drop in price, median price. So last year in March, Your medium price in Prosper was 907,000, and it dropped to 839. So prices are slightly dropping here in the beginning, the first quarter of 2025. Salina did see a decrease of 8.7% from last year in March. Okay, so you can kind of see there the numbers of the homes, of the sales price. Okay, so let's look at, for example, let's look at the original list price. Okay, let's look at price per square footage. Okay, let's dive a little bit about that. Frisco, your average right now in March, $245 per square foot. McKinney, $210. Prosper, $255, and Salina, $205. And you can kind of compare to last year's March, $248 for Frisco, $219 for McKinney. This was last year, okay? You can kind of see what the difference was there. So Frisco dropped a little bit. McKinney definitely dropped about 4%. Prosper actually increased a little bit by 2%. And Salina, minus 10%. Now this is the medium price per square feet, okay? Now let's look at days on the market. Days on the market in these cities. Again, medium, meaning 45 was for Salina, was the middle, okay? So there were homes that were on the market longer, and there were homes that were in the market less than 51, but that 51 days on the market was your medium, okay, which is an increase of 112% from last year's March. That was significantly, this is a huge. So houses are staying on the market longer right now, you guys, especially in other cities as well, not just these cities, but in other cities surrounding these areas. Our houses are staying longer on the market. A lot of negotiation power for you as a home buyer. If you're looking to get a great deal right now, this is definitely the time to do it, okay? Sellers are motivated. So as you can see right here, Frisco, look at Frisco, here the blue, 240% increase in days in the market. Look at what the medium was last year in March, 10 days. And now the medium is 34 days. Okay, so I'm looking at right here, what is the percentage of increase? That's 240 for Frisco, 70% for McKinney, Prosper 21%, and Salina 112. But that is a ridiculously big increase for the days on the market. Okay, let's look at closed sales, meaning how many homes sold in March of 2025 versus previous years in March. Okay, now these are closed sales, the amount of homes that sold. In Frisco, 184 homes sold, which was an increase of about 2.8%. McKinney, 226 homes sold, which is an actual decrease of a little over 16% versus last month. Prosper had about a 6% decrease with 64 homes sold. And Salina actually had an increase of about 20% with 117 homes sold. Okay. What is something else interesting here that I wanted to see? Let's go back to sales price, which is what homes actually closed for. Now let's go back to, I'm gonna put my screen up here a little bit so you can kind of see what the trend is, okay, month per month. Okay, so if you're like more of a numbers, like a trending, what is the trend right now? You can kind of see the medium home prices per city. Okay, so let's focus right now, for example, and let's focus on Salina. Let's look at this gray one right here, okay, or black to keep it simple. Okay, so right now, this is your March numbers. Okay, your medium was 574,900. Now let's go back a month. Let's go right here. It was probably the lowest in January 2024, 563,000. Let's look at this other one here, 560 in July 2023, So you can kind of see they are dropping in price. I mean, there's some months that kind of go up. Obviously right now we're in the spring market. So, but look at this huge drop right here. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So this was December of 2024. And then it dropped in January. Kind of went up a little bit in February and then dropping slightly right now in March. Prosper, for example, you can see here February 2025 and the drop that it had in the price of the homes in 1 month. Okay, so that's something that I wanted to show you guys. Frisco, for example, kind of had the opposite. Frisco was the only one out of these four that had the opposite in February 2025 and in March. Now keep in mind also, okay, we're looking at new construction homes. So if I were to change that and only look at pre-owned homes, let's see what that does. Only pre-owned homes, okay? Let me see. So both Salina, Frisco, and Prosper had a slightly increase from last month. And the only one that decreased, that went down in price, was McKinney. Salina, well, pretty much, yeah, so this is a little jump right here. Okay. Salina was the only one that, McKinney was the only one that dropped. Okay. So, but we have to consider new construction. Okay. So, guys, that's it. You can kind of see the trends of what's going on. Let's go back to the bar here so you can kind of see the medium sales price for these four cities. Okay. So, I'm going to stop the video right here. Stop sharing my screen, and so yeah, hey, and then we'll go to the end. Hey guys, my name is Gus. Both me and my lovely wife Karla, who is not able to be here today, are both full-time real estate agents here in the North Dallas area. So if you would like to connect with us, our information is going to be up here. We would love to chat with you and answer any questions that you have about what the real estate market is doing here, in particular the North Dallas area, and what your goals are if you are relocating from out of state, or maybe you are a home seller thinking about selling. Hey, don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to hear from you. Also, guys, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and that notification bell as well. We do tons of videos, market updates, home tours, and many others. So you want to stay up to date what we are posting on a weekly basis. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what does this information mean to you. Okay, so if you are a home buyer, this actually might be a great time for you to get into a great deal in a house here in one of these cities or any of the cities in the surrounding areas, because these four cities are just an example of what is going on here around the North Dallas area. So this spring market might be the sweet spot for you to get into a great deal, either a pre-owned home or a new construction home. If you are a home seller, the key is going to be pricing. As you saw on the numbers, there are buyers out there that are still making offers, that are still buying homes, but buyers want to feel like they're getting a great deal. So pricing strategically is going to be a major factor if you want to, or not just want to, but need to sell your property here in March or April. Now that we're in April in 2025. Also, something to consider if you're a home seller is the marketing, okay? What is your realtor doing to market your home? It's not just putting it up on the MLS and see what happens. Realtors need to get really dived into social media platforms like YouTube, like this, which is what we do, to market your home. Staging has to do a lot with it too. How is your house showing to the public? Obviously, a lot of buyers are 100% coming from online, looking at Zillow, Realtor.com. So the pictures and how the house looks needs to be crisp. Pictures need to come out really great. Staging the house might be an option if you don't have any decor around the house. You might want to consider getting a stager in there and setting up the house before pictures. So if you are looking to buy or sell, hey, give us a call. If you want a market comparison analysis of your particular home, give us a call. Our information is going to be up here. You can text us, you can call us, and we can go over all those details with you. Also, guys, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. Stay up to date with all of our content that we post each and every week. And make sure to stay up to date with the next month's real estate market update. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.